Are you serious?
I'm ready, man. So far.
All right, hello and welcome. This is another day of KSAFA Super League doubleheader action. And this is the first match of two this evening. Welcome to Island Sports Network. My name is Christopher Scott. And we will be broadcasting to you a match at 6:30 that's going to happen right now. And the match at 8:30. So this match is Constant Spring. They're facing off against Molynes United Football Club. There we see the captains and Jason Dennis of Constant Spring. And of course, Sergino Frankson of Molynes United. And if you're just joining us, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Welcome to Island Sports Network. For the new subscribers, welcome. Just click on the bell beside the subscription button so you will be notified on any given moment when the next match will be broadcasted live. We have another match at 8:30. So that promises also to be a cracking one. And don't forget Red Stripe Premier League action tomorrow when Mount Pleasant will be traveling to St. Anne. Mount Pleasant will be taking on Cavalier. As we see one Ryan Brown from Molynes United will be kicking things off here at the Constant Spring Football Club. And we also like to welcome the members of the Facebook family, as well as the members on the website islandsports.net and the mobile app Island Sports Network. And of course, just to read off the lineup, starting 11 and bench for both Molynes and Constant Spring. In goal for Molynes, we have Kevin Lewis. Then we have Tyreek Sutherland, Damian Thomas, Keith Wright, Akeem Stewart, Ronaldo Smith, Tyreek Wilson, Otis Friend, Ryan Brown, Orain Ferguson, Sergina Frankson, the captain. And then on the bench, we have O'Neill Dunkley, Thorne Buchanan, Hakeem McCoy, Chadwick Prawl, Fakibe Farquharson, Marcelina Blackburn, Jermaine Reed. And for Constant Spring, in goal, we have Tariq Wilmot. Then we have Tafari Rubble, Rashawn Martin, Jason Dennis, the captain. Then Siobhan Williams. Then Javier Wilmot, Ramon Brevitt, Rowan Shea, Rowan Parker, Kimani Bennett, and Ricardo Marsh. And on the bench, we have John Luke Wilmot, Carlton Salmon, Ronaldo Moore, Chazri Tayun, Sheldon Foster, Shaquem Morrison, and Dwayne Brown. Those are the lineups for both teams. So you see a turn there by Molynes, setting that one inside. And defensive work already by Constant Spring. So it will be a corner to Molynes United. So an opportunity. Constant Spring last week got their first win of the season. Just holding on. Well, they did come away with the victory against Maxfield.
For Zone B?
Throw taken quickly. Molynes with possession. be a throw to Constant Spring. Martin with the throw. Now it's went over Kimani Betty. Defensive work by Molynes again, but Brevi just couldn't hold on to it. Now it's with Rowan Shea. Shea with the ball, sends it over to Parker. Parker with the ball, twisting and turning. And now Martin will let that one run out for a throw to Constant Spring. Quickly taken. And now it's with Molynes United. And now Constant Spring can attack, but they do lose possession. And now Shea gets it back. Jason Dennis loops that ball over to Martin. Martin sends it inside, only being intercepted by Sutherland. And couldn't latch on to that one is Ryan Brown. Constant Spring with possession, they lose it. Molynes with possession, they lose it. Now it's with Martin. Now Rowan Shea loops that ball forward, unable to find Parker. Parker will latch on to that one. Wouldn't let that run out. Loops that ball forward. No, for Bennett. Bennett sends that one outside. And it will be a throw to Molynes United. Now with Ronaldo Smith, Molynes United. Twisting and turning. Now Damian Thomas sends that ball over. It's back to Damian Thomas, being pressured. Sends it back to the keeper, Lewis. Lewis being pressured again. Sending that ball forward, trying to find Ryan Brown. But Jason Dennis latches onto that one. Sends it forward. Carter Marsh on the left, being challenged. And he does foul the Molynes player, so it will be a free kick to Molynes United. And Molynes United actually not doing bad in the league. They're actually second in their zone, 10 points. So they are 3 points behind Barbican. And they actually have a greater goal difference than Barbican. So if they do win today, they momentarily claim top spot in Zone A. And they would be very happy with that one. See Marsh trying to latch on to that one. The referee says free kick or throw to Constant Spring. And of course we know Constant Spring in 5th at the moment, getting their first win of the season. They're 4 points behind Real Mona, so they would have to dig deep, but it's not all but lost. Another throw. And I'm guessing that Constant Spring will be looking to spoil the party for Molynes United. And Lewis just cheaply gives the ball away, so it will be a throw. Unable to find Bennett. Now it's with Jason Dennis. And sends that ball into touch. And the referee says last touch came from a Molynes United player. So it will be a throw to Constant Spring. Taking quickly. And Tafari Rubble almost kept that one in. Throw this time to Molynes United. Taken by Stewart, sending that ball forward, trying to find Ryan Brown. And the referee says throw to Molynes United. Again, they'll be looking to push. Otis Friend with the ball, sending that ball forward. And Molynes United can attack with the first opportunity of this matchup, sending that one inside. Defensive work by Jason Dennis, the captain. Sending that ball forward. Constant Spring with possession. They cheaply give it away, but they do have it back now with Rowan Martin. Sends that ball forward for Bennett. And Bennett couldn't get that one under control, so it will be a throw to Molynes United. Take it quickly. And Sutherland sends that one over to the captain, Frankson, who loops that ball forward for Otis Friend. Otis Friend with the ball, surging forward, has to turn back. Sending that ball across to Wilson. Wilson tries to launch that ball for the forward. Now it's with Rowan Parker. Defensive work somewhat of Rowan Parker. Bennett battling. And Ronaldo Smith sends that one further forward. Trying to latch onto it is Ryan Brown, unable to. And now Rowan Shea will fight in the air. And clash of heads. That was between Keith Wright and Rohan Shea. We can hear that collision from where we are, and that's some distance away.
I'm leave out from both 5:40 and I see traffic and the taxi them and something on load. Yeah, if we win tomorrow too, you know how that go. Who not play? Oh, that's gonna be fun. Right now we want to win. Bro, we want to lose so we can win.
So, both players seems to be taken off momentarily. They are. Keith Wright just shaking things off. And no. She's just getting some time to settle things. Rowan Shea. Now to fire rubble. Send across to Brevitt, who sends it to Wilmot. Javier Wilmot. He is fouled by Otis Friend, so it will be a free kick to Constant Spring. And now Otis Friend for Molynes sends that ball forward. Jason Dennis heads it on. And now Keith Wright with it. He will be challenged by his opponent, but he loses that challenge. It goes out for a throw to Constant Spring, however. Based on where he's going to throw, I think he's going to meet Kimani Bennett. He doesn't. And now it's with Keith Wright on Molynes United, sending that ball forward. Unable to find Orain Ferguson, but it does fall to them again. Tariq Sutherland sends that one across to Frankson, the captain. Captain sends it back. And now Frankson, Sergino Frankson with the ball. Chips that ball forward for Stewart, and he is fouled, so it will be a free kick to Molynes United. Opportunity again presented for Molynes United to go in front. Just outside the 18-yard box. Will Molynes United convert their 12th goal of the season? Sent inside. Oh, good save by Wilmot. So it will be a corner to Molynes United. Presented with another opportunity. And the referee says goal kick. That opportunity amounted to nothing. It was quick and fast. Amounted to nothing. So goal kick for Constant Spring. So Constant Spring will be looking to probably extend that little confidence that they had from last week to 2 straight wins in 2 weeks. They got their first win of the season with a 2-1 win over Rockford last week. And they're looking actually to continue that, but Molynes United had an opportunity there with Keith Wright, but defensive work by Martin. Goes out for a throw. And so they'll be looking to get their show on the road. Constant Spring, after recording a 2-1 win against Maxfield last week, and maybe shocking a lot of fans here at the Constant Spring Football Club, and record their second win against second place Molynes United, and go on 6 points. And maybe start a trend. That ball forward. So it will be a corner to Constant Spring. And some of the matches actually, Constant Spring have just been unfortunate, but they managed to get a win last week. They would want to win this week, and they said they were rebuilding, but it doesn't hurt to get 3 points again. Still an opportunity for Constant Spring through Wilmot, but gobbled up, and now Molynes can attack. Will they successfully complete the counter? Now it's with Sergina Frankson. Frankson gets by beautifully the defender, sends that one inside, blocked before it even could reach near the 18-yard box. Gobbled up by Wilmot. No. It is with Keith Wright of Molynes United. Tariq Wilson still sends to Ryan. Ryan gives it back to Tariq, and defensive work by Jason Dennis. Now it's with Frankson of Molynes United. Confidence going forward, and Ryan Brown just waiting for that ball to fall to his feet sweetly, but not to be. And fighting for possession. Now it's with Rowan Parker. He's going to be challenged by Keith Wright. Defensive work, however. And that one into touch by Ronaldo Smith. Will be a throw to Constant Spring.
floor. Ball game, Saba.
Headed on. Now Ryan Brown will try to latch onto that. Headed up for Otis' friend. And oh, wow. It's a foul by Ryan Brown. And he's trying to plead the referee that, listen, he's the one that jumped on my back and fell over me. So I should have been the one that got the foul, but the referee says no. When Parker wanted to latch on to that one, unable to. Now it's with Javier Wilmot, but just taking off the ball sweetly by Sutherland. Sends that one across. Rain Ferguson will latch on to that one. Sends it up for Ryan Brown. Defensive work by Martin. Goes into touch for a throw to Constant Spring. Tafari Rubble will take. Brevitt to Rubble. Goes into touch again for a throw to Constant Spring. Constant Spring slowly but surely going forward. Not short of any spurts of attack from Molynes United. They can score goals. They've scored 11 this season. And trust me when I tell you, they're a goal-scoring machine, Molynes United, the most in Zone A with 11. So they're not short on scoring goals. Rowan Shea now back onto the field, sends it across to Rohan Parker. And he was unsuccessfully tackled by Tyreek Sutherland. And latching on to that one, sends that one inside. And covered up by the keeper, but the referee says offside it seems. And he does call it, so the referee says not to bother. The goalkeeper has the ball, so he sends that ball forward, trying to find Rain Ferguson. Doesn't. Now it's with Williams, who sends it across to Rubble. Tafari Rubble sends that ball forward. And couldn't find Ricardo Marsh. But it goes into touch for a throw to Constant Spring. And Lynn just urging his players to just play to the whistle. The referee's the one that controls the game here. Just go with the flow. Headed out by Otis' friend. Now it's with Ryan Brown. Sends it back to Frankson. Frankson, the captain, sends that ball forward, trying to find Rain Ferguson. And it's actually an offside call committed by Rain Ferguson. So free kick to Constant Spring. And just to remind you that at 8:30, first place Barbican in Zone A will be looking to continue their undefeated streak. And now Constant Spring have an opportunity. And Ricardo Marsh couldn't latch on to that one again. And turning beautifully is Frankson, but almost a Luis Suarez type control. Unable to control it properly. Wilmot over to Rubble. Sends that ball across, trying to find Rowan Shea. Rowan Shea will try to latch on to that one, and does. And Otis' friend regains possession for Molynes United. Goes into touch for a throw to the black and lime green. Sutherland sends it forward. And gathered up quickly by Javier Wilmot. He receives the ball again. Shea. And a shot. Oh, that's brilliant. What a strike. Brilliant at its best. We know Rohan Shea could have struck one from there. But up steps Javier Wilmot, and that's a touch of class. Saw the keeper off his line and says, thank you I will take it. What a strike by Javier Wilmot. And what a way to score the first goal of the contest. So Constant Spring, I tell you, they were feeling themselves. They were confident. And my, oh my, confidence to even take that ball from there. And what a strike. And Constant Spring, they do lead by a goal to nil now. My, oh my. Brilliant left-footed strike from, I would say, about 30 yards out. And ended up straight into the back of the net. As Molynes will now have to chase. Now Brevitt, or it's Wilmot, and he is fouled, the goal scorer. So it will be a free kick to Constant Spring. Oh, that was another try. And what is wrong with the keeper today? He's caught too many times. And Kevin Lewis will have to be careful. And again, keeper almost caught off his line. Does go out for a throw to Constant Spring. And Molynes United, I tell you, has a couple of goals in them. And they'll be looking to climb back in this. Not the first day in 24 hours that a team has climbed back to win. Not the first time today that a team has climbed back to win. We know in the Premier League, Southampton recorded a win in the Red Stripe Premier League at the English Premier League, 2-1 win. And now they have a chance of equalizing. And Ryan Brown will try to latch on to that one. And brilliant goalkeeping from Tyreek Wilmot. And he's still down on the field. So, medical staff being summoned. And I tell you, I was just speaking to our cameraman Janoy off the air, and I was telling him, you got to watch that game against Tottenham, I'm telling you. And Tottenham went ahead through Harry Kane, and then up stepped Valerie and Ward Prowse, who actually scored in as many successive matches. Scored in a thrilling 3-2 loss against Manchester United, and Ward Prowse again with a brilliant free kick, as we see another wonderful strike by Javier Wilmot. Look at that left-footed strike. I'm speechless. Saw the keeper off his line and says, let me try something. And he converted. And I tell you, not the first. I'm seeing that in a couple of months. And I remember even in the Manning Cup, and the captain of Excelsior, I believe one of the best strikes of the season, from about 30 yards out, stretched his foot, got the interception, and bang, straight into the middle of the goal. And I tell you, the St. Catherine keeper couldn't latch on to that one. And it was actually the first goal St. Catherine actually conceded in the Manning Cup. And what a way to concede a goal. I tell you, something similar scored here today. And Constant Spring, they do lead by a goal to nil. And a drop ball. It's taken up by the keeper, because when the keeper was down, he held the ball, so he will just collect it. And Wilmot sends that one forward. Not the best kicks. And Rowan Parker will latch on and send it to Rowan Shea. And Shea now with a wrap around his head. And he just falls Sutherland. Sutherland takes that one quickly, sends it to Sergina Frankson. Frankson sends that ball long inside, only meets the boot of Parker. But then a shot just wide of the target. And it's a corner given. That was a deflection. So the players are shouting to the referee that it wasn't a corner. It was just a shot that was wide of the target, but the referee says no. It's a corner to Molynes. Ball sent inside, headed on. Oh, that was close. And a shot again. Raheem Brown, he couldn't understand why he didn't latch onto that one properly, and now they can chase, now they can counter. Ball sent over to Kimani Bennett, and he's going to be challenged. He is challenged. And no one inside to latch onto that one for Kimani Bennett. But they still can latch on, but they do lose possession. Now it's with Tariq Sutherland. Sending that ball over, trying to find Keith Wright, but it does go into touch for a throw to Constant Spring. Rowan Parker with the ball, being tackled by Keith Wright. Tackled. Sending that ball forward, trying to find a Rain Ferguson. Only falls to the boot of Rubble, who sends it over to Wilmot, who then sends it over to Martin. The ball sent inside, trying to find Marsh, unable to. And now Brevitt. Brevitt loses it. And now Otis Friend of Molynes United sending that ball forward. And a Rain Ferguson just being stopped by Shea momentarily. Headed out by Martin. And Rohan Parker will latch on. And sends it outside for a throw to Molynes United. Just over 30 minutes gone. So about a quarter of an hour left in the first half. Or just under a quarter of an hour. Molynes United with an opportunity. And that was a shot from the outside of his right foot, Rain Ferguson, but was unable to trick the keeper. Blocked by Frankson. Sent to Ferguson, who sent it over to Frankson, but it goes into touch for a throw to Constant Spring. And don't forget to subscribe to Island Sports Network on YouTube. And also like our page Island Sports Network on Facebook and follow our Instagram page Island Sports Net. And you can also subscribe to the website or subscribe on the website. Link will be in the description. And how to subscribe, it's $3.99 US per month, $39.99 US per year. And half of the proceeds will go to the league. Foul by Rowan Parker, so it will be a free kick to Molynes United. Taking this one, it seems to be Ronaldo Smith. Sending that ball across for Akeem Stewart. And Stewart will pass Ricardo Marsh. And a brilliant tackle from Brevitt. Now they can search forward. Constant Spring through Brevitt. Ramon Brevitt sending that ball across for Rowan Parker. Rowan Parker will latch on. And he sends it back to Martin, who sends it back to Dennis. Dennis loops that ball forward for Rowan Parker. Unable to latch on to it was Marsh, but it's into enemy territory for Molynes. Goes into touch for a throw to Constant Spring. It's actually a throw to Molynes United. Is it? Changed in there. Rowan Parker. Acrobatic. Ball forward. But he goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. Sending that ball forward for Rain Ferguson. Being challenged by Martin. And giving it to Kimani Bennett. Skill to get past two. Unable to get past the third. Damian Thomas sends that one over. And now it's with Akeem Stewart. And Frankson looping that ball forward. Trying to find out his friend. Unable to. Goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. And Lees trying to score one before the first half. Molynes United get that equalizer, but they're unable to just make that telling pass. And he is fouled. Brevitt. So it will be a free kick to Constant Spring. And I tell you what a turnaround it would be. And they haven't won a single match in 4 KSAFA Super League matches. And they won, and they're now leading. Rowan Parker with the ball. Just outside the 18, sends that one inside. An opportunity. Oh, and not collected properly by the goalkeeper, Kevin Lewis. And he has not been the best in this match. And I tell you, with the mistakes that he's making so far, I am not going to be surprised if they do test him from afar again. They tested him twice, and they had a 50% conversion rate. The other one just over the crossbar. As we see a Constant Spring corner, sent one inside. Defensive work by Molynes. And now they want the shot. Rowan Parker couldn't get that one off. And now Otis' friend will chase this one. He's going to be tackled on by Siobhan Williams. And he is. Good defensive work by Williams. Goes into touch for a throw to Molynes. Frankson. Twisting and turning. Finds Wilson. Wilson sends that one inside. Defensive work, not the best. And it falls to Keith Wright. Sends that one over to Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown with the shot. And it doesn't trouble the goalkeeper in the end. So it will be a goal kick to Constant Spring. Rowan Shea with the ball. Tackled by Sutherland. Couldn't keep him off the ball, Sutherland. Now it's with the goal scorer, Wilmot. And not the best ball. And Kevin Lewis collects, sends it quickly to Ronaldo Smith. And now Tyreek Sutherland has the possession for Molynes United. Sending that ball forward, unable to find Keith Wright. And trying to keep that one in is Rowan Parker. Being helped up by the coaching staff of Molynes United. It goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. Taken. And it's actually a foul throw or a foul. It's actually a foul throw. So it will be a throw to Constant Spring. Throw taken by Martin to Shea. Sending that one inside the 18-yard box. And slipping is Brevitt. And I tell you, he would have wanted one of those opportunities again. Switch off the wing. Over to Martin. Sending that ball across. That's not a bad ball in the end. But he is caught offside. Free kick for Molynes. Headed out by Wilmot. Collected by Sutherland. And the referee says it's a foul. Sent across quickly for Ronaldo Smith, who sends that ball forward, trying to find out his friend. Headed on. Ryan Brown will latch on for Molynes United. Twisting and turning, trying to get by Shea, but the tall structure of Shea overpowers him. And too much for Arain Ferguson, so he goes behind for a goal kick. Almost 39 minutes gone. And challenged in the air. Now it's with Rowan Parker. Trying to get by Keith Wright. Unable to loop that ball forward for Ricardo Marsh. Taken up by Kevin Lewis. Sends that ball over to Akeem Stewart. Stewart with the ball. Will bring it up. Send it to further up to Arain Ferguson. And defensive work by Tafari Rebel. Akeem Stewart being challenged by Marsh. Now Arain Ferguson being challenged by Marsh. It goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. Molynes United pushing forward, sends that one inside the 18-yard box and headed on. Oh, that was not dealt with properly, but the defenders were right there to right the wrong. And it's further upwards, still in their own half. And now it's in enemy territory, but they do get back the ball, Molynes United. Ryan Brown tried to turn, and the referee says foul on Ryan Brown by Javier Wilmot, so it will be a free kick to Molynes United. And Wilson's free kick right into the two-man wall, built by Constant Spring, goes into touch for a throw. Taking quickly. Damian Thomas sends it further up for Wilson, who sends that across inside the 18-yard box. And too much in the end. So it will be a goal kick to Constant Spring. I tell you, this would be the 5th goal that Molynes United would have conceded. And that is actually the second least conceded by a team in the zone. So not a bad run in the KSAFA Super League for Zone A, Molynes United, but they want to at least get the equalizer to bring back their goal difference to +7. It's currently at +6, because even though they have actually scored the most goals in Zone A with 11, they've conceded now 5, so their goal difference is +6, which actually is leveled with Barbican. And after this match, Barbican, even though they're going to play later today, will have a game in hand with 13 points if they do lose today. And this is just by 1 goal. And Sergino Frankson, the captain, sends that one inside the 18-yard box. An opportunity, and it's still with Keith Wright. Gets by Martin, sends that one inside. Oh, only just. And that was an opportunity. Sending that ball forward for Kimani Benny. Kimani Benny will latch on. And now an opportunity. And He doesn't make use of it in the end. Could have sent that one across to Rowan Parker. So just a few minutes before the first half comes to a close. And the clash with Rowan Shea and Keith Wright were the only stoppages, or was the only stoppage in this first half. So I would think about a minute after the 45 has elapsed, as we see Keith Wright trying to latch on to a ball sent by Tariq Sutherland, but he goes behind. It will be a goal kick to Constant Spring. So, Constant Spring, if the score stays like this, will be the happier of the two. And now Frankson sends it into Ryan Brown. Deflection. And the goalkeeper would want to latch on to that one. And he does. So, just being a little bit cheeky, but effective in the end. Through to Molynes. Tariq Sutherland loses it cheaply, but they do get it back. And it's intercepted brilliantly. And now Constant Spring with a chance. It's still a chance for Constant Spring. And Ricardo Marsh, what a run from him, but too many defenders. And they do lose possession. Now it's with Lorraine Ferguson. Gets by Tafari Rubble. Gets by Javier Wilmot. Turn. And it meets into a Constant Spring player. So Constant Spring with possession, they do lose it again. And Akeem Stewart, as the referee, calls back the play. And it's actually a yellow card brandished for the goal scorer, Wilmot. And it will be a free kick to Molynes United. 45 minutes have elapsed. And I would think, as I said, just a minute, as we see a ball swinging, and Otis Friend would want to latch on to that. An advantage is still Molynes United. They just wanted a shot at goal, at least on target, but they don't get that. And the defenders working overtime. But Molynes still with possession. So Gina Frankson, and it's a foul in a dangerous position. Very, very dangerous. And Molynes United with an opportunity to at least get the equalizer before halftime. Who will take this one? Will they score their 12th goal of the season? Even with their 11, they still have scored the most in this zone, yet they are second. What will happen? Tyreek Wilson takes the shot low. And that is the end of the first half. Beautiful, beautiful strike from Javier Wilmot from about 30 yards out. And beats the keeper, and that is the difference maker in the first half. So 45 minutes have elapsed, and the first half is over. At the end of the first half, it is Constant Spring 1, Molynes United 0.
And we are ready The rule is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears.
Can't cut with life. More love, more life. You know they can't cut with life. More love, more life. Them can't cut with vibes. We got it in with blood. Cool step in any time we touch the road. Cut with vibes. We got it in with blood. Cool step in every time. Oh, you never know. You never know. You never know. You know what you should have known, man, a Jamaican. Not because me look so cool in a me Ray-Ban. Yeah, real vibes not promote. Some of them don't know we about them ready to sell out. You know them can't cut with vibes. More love, more life. You know they can't cut me life. More love, more life. Them can't cut with vibes. We got it in with blood. Roots up in every time we touch the road. Cut with vibes, we got it in with blood. Roots up in every time. Them can't cut with vibes. More love, more life. Yes, they say them can't cut with vibes. More love, more life. Can't cut with vibes, we got it in with blood. Roots up in every time.
hot and groovy. In the soca party, she's hot and groovy. Baila with me, baby, bambi dambe dai, di dambe by dimbai, bambi dambe dai, di dambe by dimbai. Pretending a soca party when I meet this Latin beauty, when I see she well shaped, with looks to kill oh my. I make a move and we started talking. She said I look like a distinguished yardie. Then she tell me, boy, I'm feeling your party. She show me a more.
And we are ready.
The rule is to continue to drive for the development of the game here. Although players are selected from clubs abroad, they were developed in the league.
They're really quality players and they have really good attitude and you get your money's worth.
This match has turned up several gears.
That works. That works. Bro, this man, yeah, they put last night. Yeah, most of the match, points from Clay. Done. But the man a drop trees like crazy, you know. Bro, this is mine. Then forget a nice beat, man. Oh, a Lakers much more watch tomorrow, you know, brother. Of course, they're gonna lose. You can ask that. Hmm? That even worse. Lonzo Ball. Him now. Wow. I'm to LeBron. What am I dealing with? You still at James? Oh, I'm going for this much. Keep out tie film shoes later. Yeah, but that tie shoes in after years.
And off and running we go here in the second half. Constant Spring do have the advantage. And so, with a glorious strike from Javier Wilmot in the first half, Constant Spring, they do lead by a goal to nil.
It changed my Oh, for Constant Spring.
He's on, but I don't know who is off for him.
Check the numbers.
So I'm checking, but I don't see anybody even on the bench either.
Oh.
And the throw to Molynes. And that ball sent forward by Damian Thomas, and trying to latch onto that is Otis' friend, and now they can counter, but the referee says it's a throw to Molynes. And now Rain Ferguson will latch on and an opportunity to get the equalizer. And defensive work again by Constant Spring. And an early opportunity in the second half for Molynes United to at least get the equalizer. And I tell you, once they do that, then it's advantage Molynes, because they will now have the momentum. Ball sent inside. Defensive work again by Constant Spring. And that ball sent further upwards. And defensive work by Akeem Stewart. And the ball still hasn't settled properly. And Brevitt just send that one into touch for a throw to Molynes United. the change made at halftime. The goal scorer, Javier Wilmot, comes off. And we'll try to get more word on the reason why. But Javier Wilmot comes off and Dwayne Brown comes on. So Wilmot, the goal scorer, his night is finished. And Frankson sets that ball forward for Otis Friend. But defensive work again by Constant Spring. And Sakeem Stewart sends that ball forward for Rain Ferguson. Will be challenged by Brown. Intercepted. Now Rowan Shea sends it across to Brevin, who sends it back to Shea. And now Rowan Shea still with the ball. Looking for a pass and finds Tafari Rubble. Rubble chips that ball forward. Intercepted. And now they do have back the ball again. And it's Tafari Rubble to Shea. Shea sends that ball across. And the referee says a foul. A free kick. And just settling things down. Don't want to rush things. It's still early days here in the second half. As we see Rain Ferguson latching on to that ball, sending that ball forward, trying to find Ryan Brown. Defensive work again by Constant Spring. And Frankson trying to get by Rubble. Defensive work done again. And a familiar number will be stepping onto the field. So Otis Friends comes off. And guess what? Marcelina Blackburn comes on the field for Molynes United. And a lot of people might be wondering, wait, that name sounds familiar. Yes, it is Marcelina Blackburn that has played in the Red Stripe Premier League. He's now playing for Molynes United in KSAFA Super League. And a shot. And Frankson, not the best decision. He could have set that ball inside for someone to latch onto it, because there were a couple black shirts inside the 18-yard box. And the captain, not the best decision from the leader, from the skipper. Pressure by Constant Spring. Goes out for a throw to them. Now the throw. They're probably going for a long throw. We see about 4 Constant Spring players in the box, and he does go for a long throw. Not bad at all. And just couldn't latch on to that one. And so Ryan Brown will chase. Goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. And Tafari Rubber intercepts. Now it's Ricardo Marsh. Sends that ball forward, trying to find Tafari Rubber. But tackled by Thomas. And he goes out for a throw or a goal kick to Molynes United. Just 53 minutes gone in this contest. And that's about 8 minutes in the second half. So they do have time to get something here. Thomas, interception. Oh, that was a rash challenge by Akeem Stewart. So it will be a free kick to Constant Spring. And would you believe, Constant Spring, the way they're playing defensively today is not conducive of what they've played throughout the competition. I mean, they have conceded actually the most goals in Zone A. And I believe the most in the competition with 10 goals conceded. Now they've scored 4. So their goal difference goes up to -6. And the worst defensive team in Zone A faces off against the second best defensive team and the best offensive team in Zone A. Oh, that was a beautiful ball. And now they can get their second. They don't. Defensive work by Molynes. Frankson sends that ball forward. Finds Ryan Brown. Brown with the ball. Looping that ball forward, trying to find Marcelina Blackburn. But taken by Wilmot. So danger averted for Constant Spring. Intercepted by Sutherland. Brown. Frankson couldn't find Blackburn. Oh, by Wilmot. They can search forward now. And they do. Ball inside the 18-yard box. And still danger. But Kevin Lewis takes that one. Intercepted by Rubble. And Rubble has been everywhere tonight for Constant Spring. Thomas. Stewart. Intercepted by Marsh. Marsh is going to be challenged. And it goes into touch for a throw to Constant Spring. Tafari to take this throw. Intercepted. Blackburn. The ball sent for Ryan Brown. And he does get it back. Challenge, and it will be a goal kick to Constant Spring. So, with the score reading, the irony is actually in the score line. As I said before, a team that has conceded 10 goals in this competition and a team that scored 11 in this competition. They're battling, and this team has conceded the second least in the KSAFA Super League. Ball sent across. And a shot by Frankson. Wide of the target, high and wide of the target. So it will be a goal kick to Constant Spring. I tell you, Constant Spring keeping their shape pretty well. And the defenders have been cleaning up the mistakes of the goalkeeper when he does make them. And I tell you, Tyreek Wilmot doesn't have to make a lot. There hasn't been much opportunities for Molynes, but there has been opportunities. And we see Ricardo Marsh for Constant Spring latching onto that ball. Sent it back for Rowan Shea. Rowan Shea with the ball, sending it across. Only meets the boot of a Molynes player now, Marcelina Blackburn. And it's still Molynes United. And it is a penalty. The referee has made his decision and points to the spot. So now Molynes United with a chance to equalize. And so seems to be Sutherland that will take this one. And a chance to pull Molynes United level. And it seems to be Siobhan Williams of Constant Spring that will receive the yellow card. So it will be Sutherland versus Wilmot. Who will be the winner of this battle? And an opportunity to equalize. Molynes. Opportunity served on a silver platter. The referee blows. Up steps. And he puts it away. The equalizer. Molynes United. They have scored back. So it is now Molynes United 1, Constant Spring 1. And a cheeky little run-up. We've seen many players from around the world do that type of run-up. And slots it home. Substitution in the offing for both teams. And Cesare will be coming on. And it seems to be Kimani Bennett that comes off for Constant Spring. And he does come off and Cesare comes on. So he will kick things off, the substitute. Rowan Parker sends it up to Cesare. Cesare unable to latch onto that one properly. Now Molynes have possession. Turning is Sutherland. Sending that ball forward for Marcelina Blackburn. So Blackburn with possession for Molynes United. Sending that one across, trying to find Frankson. It's still Frankson with the ball. Sends that one back and a shot by Ryan Brown and just over the crossbar. Now they're feeling confident. Now they're pushing forward with some urgency, Molynes United. And another ball is requested by the referee. As we see another substitution. And this time, it is Fakibi Farquharson that comes on. And it's Ryan Brown that's coming off for Molynes United. So Ryan Brown off, Fakibe Farquharson on. And this was a bit of change tonight from the coach, Lidge Sims. Because normally Fakibe Farquharson starts for Molynes United. But today he's a substitute. Molynes United with possession. Now it's with Frankson. Frankson sends it over to Orain Ferguson. Orain Ferguson can charge forward. And he does, trying to get by to Farrable, but they do have possession. Constant Spring tries the cheeky backheel pass. They lose it. Now it's with Orain Ferguson again. Sends it to Frankson. Frankson trying to get past Siobhan Williams. Doesn't. Brevitt sends it back to Williams. Williams just drifting out of enemy territory, or out of danger, I should say. And again, the keeper with a mistake. And Kevin Lewis will have to be careful. This is not the first time he has made a mistake here in this match. And one of them almost led to 2 goals. So we see an offside call.
Nice over there. Nice. Oh, I totally forgot. Oh my God. Yeah, Jesus.
Siobhan Williams sends that further up for Dwayne Brown. Oh, and that's a rush challenge. And a free kick in a dangerous position for Molynes United. And a chance to score their 13th goal of the season. Cristiano Ronaldo like stand up for Marcelina Blackburn. Will he score? We've seen many times where this stance is good luck. Many times a ball has been put into the back of the net with this type of stand up. And a great person to emulate in terms of a free kick stand up. Marcelina Blackburn with a shot. And taken up by the goalkeeper, Wilmot. Stance doesn't work this time. Substitute sends it forward for Ricardo Marsh. Akeem Stewart with his defensive work. Intercepted by Brevitt. The referee says the ball goes into touch for a throw. Now Molynes United through Ferguson. Stewart. Now Frankson. Defensive work by Brevitt. Cesare loses it. Stewart. Frankson. Blackburn with a beautiful ball to Orain Ferguson. And it will be a yellow card for Rowan Shea.
Right in the head box. Super slap.
Ball sent inside the 18-yard box. Defensive work again by Constant Spring. Ball goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. And it's a handed ball as they were appealing for, but the referee says no. Rain Ferguson. And he's been tackled again by Shea. He has to be careful. He is on a yellow card already. And he tackled Rain Ferguson from behind, so has to be very, very careful not to be sent off. We saw a red card on Friday, yesterday. We saw a red card on Sunday in the Dunby Holding versus Cavaliers match. Will there be another card this week that makes it a set of red card in 3 matches? There were 3 in the Cavaliers and Dunby Holding game. There was 1 on Friday, yesterday, on the goalkeeper, actually. So, will there be another today? As we see another substitution. This time it's Ronaldo Moore that comes on at Tafari Rubble. He will come off. Defensive work by Molynes. Goes into touch for a throw. So, slowly but surely again. And this was the tactic by Constant Spring. And then, out of nowhere, Wilmot with a stunning goal. Referee says throw to Constant Spring again. Fans and some of the players of Molynes United doesn't like that decision. And now a long throw by Constant Springs, sent inside the 18-yard box. Again, it's still in danger, but it's now out of danger. Shielded by Williams. And Moore loses it. And Rain Ferguson taking off the ball. Ball sent forward. And it goes out of touch for a throw to Constant Spring. cleared. And Constant Spring with possession. They do lose it. And it goes into touch. Through to Constant Spring. And more with the throw. Trying to find Ricardo Marsh. And in the end, fouls are in Ferguson. So it will be a free kick to Molynes United. There's still time. 73 and a half minutes gone in this contest. And there's still time for either team to provide a winner. It'll be the first time Molynes United goes ahead in this contest, and it wouldn't be the first time for Constant Spring to go ahead because they scored the first goal. Chesney with a run, sends it across trying to find Ricardo Marsh, and the referee says foul, so it will be a free kick. And the referee just talking to the manager, just telling him to keep calm. So, free kick for Constant Spring. It's going to be taken by Siobhan Williams. Taken, sent across, and presents nothing in the end, so it will be a goal kick to Molynes United. Taken quickly. Sent up for Frankson. Frankson turns. And a Blackburn tries to latch on to that one, doesn't. Constant Spring back with possession. Martin loses it. Throw taken quickly. Couldn't send that one in for Marcelina, but it goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. And Damian Thomas sends that one forward, trying to find Marcelina Blackburn, but heading on by Siobhan Williams. Being challenged in the air. Chipping that ball forward for Brevitt. And the referee says foul, so it will be a free kick to Constant Spring. And it's a yellow card. And Tyreek Wilson is actually the man that goes into the book of the referee. So he's the man that's yellow carded.
Think so. Most of them are school board.
Just showing you again, maybe one of the goal candidates for the season. And just took a shot, saw the keeper off his line, and bang, straight into the back of the net. Very good goal by Javier Wilmot. Turning is Dennis, sending that one further up, but unable to latch on to that one. And Constant Spring do up possession again. It's with Parker, sends it across to Ricardo Marsh. Marsh, tackled by Stewart. Turning is Brevitt. Brevitt with a shot and wide up the target. So will be a goal kick for Molynes United. Through taking quickly. Akeem Stewart. Chipping that ball forward, trying to find Serginia Frankson. And now Ronaldo Moore with the ball. Now they give up possession. And the referee. It's a card being brandished. So the referee just consulting with the linesman what the decision should be. And it's a yellow card. Constant Spring gives up possession. No Molynes with possession. Defensive work by Rowan Parker. Goes into touch forward through to Molynes United. Goes into touch and it means nothing, so it will be through to Constant Spring. Just over 81 minutes gone in this contest, under 9 minutes left for a team to grab the winner. Who will be the hero? And I tell you, this will be a second result that Constant Spring have gotten that warrants them a point, at least. And before their fifth match, they lost all four. And now they're having a second straight positive result. So they will have at least 1 point from the two matches, including this one and last week, where last week they got 3. This week they probably, if it stays like this, gets a point, so they will be on 4 points. So are these positive signs for Constant Spring? They said they were rebuilding and they wanted to get back to true form, and they are rebuilding, because if you see the results of the last or the first 4 games, you would think, okay, that is what they're doing. But they've gotten 3 points last week against Maxfield that brought them up a place, and now they're getting another positive result here at the Constant Spring Football Club. If the score stays like this, So, it's 1-1 here. Penalty converted by Tyreek Sutherland. And a beautiful strike from Javier Wilmot. They're the difference makers here, but it's still somewhat of a stalemate. Even though there's 2 goals in this contest, it's 1 apiece. It's almost 83.5 minutes gone. So by my estimation, that's almost 6.5 minutes left to try and salvage something and maybe grab 3 points. Both teams have opportunities. Both teams has the opportunity to grab 3 points. Who will take that opportunity? Ball sent across, trying to find Ricardo Marsh. Meets the foot of Akeem Stewart. He does lose it. And they do regain possession, Molynes United. And the goalkeeper wasn't been the best this evening. Does send that ball forward. They lose possession. Rowan Shea sending that ball forward. That's not a bad ball in the end. Ball sent across. Oh, not far. Not far from the target. The goalkeeper has been off his line for quite a bit this evening. And Dwayne Brown tried the shot from distance. And just wide of the target as we see another substitution in the offing for Molynes United. And Jermaine Reed comes on. We'll know who comes off. And it's Tyreek Wilson that comes off. So Tyreek Wilson comes off. Jermaine Reed comes on. Defensive work again by Constant Spring. Ball sent forward by Shea. And no Molynes can attack. Rain Ferguson. Ball sent across. But it goes behind for a corner. Opportunity now for Molynes United late on in this game. And opportunity not taken. Keith Wright now regains possession for Molynes United. Ball sent forward by Damian Thomas. And Rashane Martin puts them in trouble. Goes into touch for a throw to Molynes United. And so Rain Ferguson sends that one inside. Collected by Rowan Shea. And now Dwayne Brown sends that further forward for Chesray. Chesray loses it. Couldn't latch onto that one properly. Keith Wright sends that further forward. And now Sutherland sends it across. Intercepted. Run couldn't get past Akeem Stewart. Now Akeem Stewart with a run for Molynes United. It's still Akeem Stewart. Sends that one inside. Oh! And I can tell you, Rain Ferguson should have latched on to that one, at least put it on target. Because no defender met the ball. And the frustration shown by the captain, Frankson. That was a very, very golden opportunity. A big opportunity for Molynes United to at least go in front for the first time in this contest. And I tell you, not a lot is left. Just under 3 minutes left in this contest. Defensive work by Keith Wright. Molynes United with possession. Now it's with Marcelina Blackburn. Blackburn, oh, a shot. Just over the bar. Will be a goal kick to Constant Spring. And not the best of passes in the end by Reed. So through to Constant Spring. Just over 88 minutes gone, less than 2 minutes. Just then done by Jermaine Reed, sent forward to Frankson. Gobbled up by Rowan Shea. And the ball sent into touch for a through to Constant Spring. And trying to decide who to throw it to. Trying to loop that ball forward for Ricardo Marsh. Goes into touch again. Slowly but surely they're going forward. Throw it to Constant Spring. And Ricardo Marsh turning. Still have possession. Now they lose it. The referee says it's a foul, so it will be a free kick. 30 seconds left of the 90. Molynes United with Keith Wright. Can go forward, he does. Has some speed in him. And gobbled up by Tariq Wilmot. So Wilmot sends that ball forward. Quickly. Turns. And they lose it. Now it's with Frankson. Frankson with the ball. Does turn. Brilliant work to get by Brevitt. Sends it over to Marcelina Blackburn. Now an opportunity for Molynes United. Great defensive work by Martin. But Marcelina Blackburn fighting to gain possession. And he does. Sends that one inside. Headed on. And again, Molynes United with possession. Headed on. And now Constant Spring can launch an attack. Still Constant Spring. Sending that ball forward, trying to find Ricardo Marsh, but Akeem Stewart is there. And now Jermaine Reed. Stewart. Will be free kick to Molynes United. This is now the first minute of injury time. Ball sent forward. And Chesray trying to use his speed to latch on to that one. But he goes into touch for a throw. Throw taken. Now it's with Sutherland. Sutherland sends that ball forward. Headed on by Moore. Battle between Marsh and Ferguson. Reed. Ferguson. Defensive work by Parker. And the referee just telling him that's not the place where the ball went into touch. Defensive work again by Rowan Parker. Headed on by Brevitt. Headed on again. And battle between two Molynes players and one Constant Spring player. Now it's one-on-one battle and a foul. So it will be a free kick and another opportunity for Constant Spring to go ahead for the second time in this contest and maybe put this game to bed. Will they convert? Don't forget, the match at 8:30 will be Barbican. They face off against Med Forest. That should be an interesting and exciting matchup. As we see an opportunity. Will they take it? Will they record their second win in as many weeks? And a shot. And that is the end of that. A brilliant strike from about 30 yards out from Javier Wilmot. And then a converted penalty from Sutherland. And that is the scoreline. So at the end of 90 minutes, at the end of the second half, it is Constant Spring 1, Molynes United 1. So stick around. Don't forget at 8:30, first place Barbican, they'll be looking to extend their undefeated streak. They're going up against Med Forest. So stay tuned. 8:30 KSAFA Super League matchup.